you have in mind, brother?
Welcome, brothers and sisters, to the next chapter of Truth Serum.
Truth Serum.
Now, you guys haven't been told something, and I don't think it's very fair. So I'm going to tell you about it today. Now, you know Superman and the Avenger guys. All those guys with superpowers, right?
Yep.
Now, you know that Yahusha has a similar sort of thing for all his people. He wants to give you supernatural powers. Those powers can come through you in all sorts of circumstances. And you'll win every battle that you go into. You'll find all sorts of things happening for you that never happened in your life before if you tap into the superpowers, supernatural powers. They're all natural powers. Things can work out for you. You know the scripture says, resist Satan and he will flee. So if you can take hold of that word, you'll know there's superpower in it. If you start practicing to resist Satan, he will go. And the doorway will be open for you. Yahusha will open a doorway for you. They actually call them fruits and gifts in the scripture, but they're really supernatural power. Yahusha's in his dimension close to earth. He's all around us, right? So he says, where two or more gather in my name, I'm there. So we're all gathered in his name at the moment. So what does that mean? Have you realised that yet? Have you realised that inside yourself, that when we gather together, he's here? And you can actually communicate with him. You can ask him things and watch things happen. But you've got to ask the right way. And the right way is in his will. So you need to know what his will is if you want these supernatural powers to come through you. So what you need to do is read the scripture and start practicing what he says. What he says will happen. What he says will be done, will. So there's a thing in the scripture, blessings and curses. You've been through that with your father, haven't you?
Yeah.
So there's all sorts of blessings to come your way, and if you go the opposite, there's all sorts of cursings that'll come your way. Now, you guys have been uprooted and brought down here. What was that like to go through that? Weird? Hard? What? Agony. Dad said it was agony. Torture. So, have you noticed that Mum and Dad have been going through agony and torture in themselves? Have you noticed that at all?
No.
You haven't. Have you? No. How has their behaviour been? Has it been loving and kind and soft and gentle? You're allowed to say, you know.
Oui.
You heard what they said. One's been going through agony and the other one's been going through torture, and you guys haven't even been aware of it? Or you have?
We haven't.
Alright.
Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, cause like when we were watching something in that on the weekend, I think it was one of his videos, I heard them yelling.
That's right.
That's the agony.
It's been going on for a long time. They've been fighting. You guys have been copping the backlash of it. That's why you probably have all sorts of upsetting feelings going on because of what's been going on between them. Because they've been uprooted and they didn't want that to happen. But they've been brought down here against their own will, they feel, or they felt. What do you think Yahusha's trying to do to this family? What do you think he's done that to you for?
To train us.
Yeah?
Put us in order.
Yeah? Mainly, when we come together, who's here?
Yahusha?
So what does he want from you? Your what?
Attention.
He wants your attention. Now, if you start reading the scripture and applying it in your life personally, just under here, all by yourself, you're in there, and no one can see, you're in there, right? He'll reveal all sorts of things to you and show you the way to go. So if you get a thought and you've been reading the scripture and you can look at that thought and say, no, the Torah says that, scripture says that. Well, then you can choose which is the way to go. But if you're not reading the scripture, what happens to the seed that he planted in you?
It dies.
That's right, because the scripture's called
Food.
manjana,
Manjari.
So it's food for your spirit. And if you cut it off, you don't fill yourself with the food, and it's delicious and wonderful, then what's going to happen? What'll happen inside you?
You can
Your seed will,
die.
that's it. And how does death feel?
Jeez. I should know.
She's speaking the truth there. She should know. So, if you want, and you want your life to be great, who's it up to?
Us.
Who hasn't been reading the scripture, starting from the New Testament on? Okay? So what's that going to do to you?
Cool.
So what have you been experiencing in your emotions and feelings? What's going to happen if you don't feed the seed?
You'll die.
So you know Satan very well now because you feel the death coming into you. That's what he wants to do, destroy you all. And for you not to enter in to finding those supernatural powers that will make you win so many things. So many things you'll watch just amazing happen to you. Now, Mum and Dad haven't spoken to you about this. You know why? What have they been in?
Agony and torture.
That's right. So who's doing that to them?
Satan.
Hmm?
Satan.
That's right. So if you see Mum and Dad being in agony and torture, you should come up and say, Dad, what's up? Mum, what's up? You can see that because you haven't got lots of things inside you that are worldly. They have filled themselves with lots of worldly things. You haven't got as much of that in you. So you can get free from Satan much quicker than they can.
Yeah.
You see the pressure that's going on between them? You should say, Dad, or Therese, Mum, you know, this has got to stop. You got to say, 𝗪𝗓𝗓𝗓, you're yelling. No more yelling. You got to speak out and say it so you can have what in your home?
Order.
That's
Peace.
one thing. Peace. So that you're not disturbed and hurt and upset. Because if you are, who are you inviting into your home?
Same.
And what does he make it like?
Hideous.
Hideous.
So the greatest thing you can say to mum and dad if they get upset because they've got more to get rid of than you guys have, you're being attacked. You've got to speak out and say, you're being attacked. You've got to stop. I'm giving you all permission to actually speak to them. Are you going to let that permission reign in the house?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what does it mean if someone tells you you're yelling?
I've got to change.
What are you going to do?
Stop yelling.
And if you're angry
Mm.
and they say, Dad,
You're angry.
you've no need for anger.
I'm not angry! You're angry!
I'll say, please stop yelling.
That's good.
Lovely.
That's very good.
Yeah.
That's what you all got to do with each other if you want.
Peace.
Peace. Yeah.
Now, the only way you're going to know the superpowers that are going to come your way is if you...
Read scripture.
That's it. I'd start from Matthew, from the beginning. Is Matthew the first book now?
In there one, it's John.
John.
Same.
Start from John and read right through to the Revelation. It's not a rush. You don't have to rush and beat anybody. You just take it at your pace. You think about it and he'll start to talk to you and say, remember when this happened and that happened? I was there to show you this or that. You start to get to know him. He's telling me what to tell you. Did you know that?
That's
I
lovely.
can hear his voice telling me to open these doors for you guys so you can defeat the enemy. I can hear him. He wants you all to know how very much he loves you,
Yeah.
and he wants to work with you so you win the battle, so that you're not going to be hurt and upset. But it's up to you to get yourselves to that place where you get strong. It's going to take time, but in a little while, if you keep reading, keep filling yourself, so the words of Yahuwah are life. That's why we only get a seed. And he's going to see and test us to see if we're going to start practicing it. The words of Yahuwah are life. Words can give life and words can give.
Yeah.
So who do you think's talking to you that wants you to sow death to each other?
Satan.
Right. What do you think of this? Anyone got anything they want to say?
It's very interesting,
Yes.
and we can start speaking up.
Yep. Doesn't mean that anyone's wrong, does it?
No.
We're all at a place now where we can start growing in this. But it's up to each one of you to do it. Now, who doesn't want you to do it?
Satan.
Let's establish it. Hands up who thinks it's Satan. Okay, so he's at you. You know him. He wants to sow death and unhappiness in you. And this is why I've been here having the talks with you, to get you all to a place where you're going to want peace in your home. The brothers and sisters out there don't know all this either, because they're not telling them. Religion is blocking it and stopping people from knowing. They say that you can't hear Yahusha's voice. They say you can't have this relationship. But I beg to differ, because who did Yahusha love and call them together all the time?
He
Children.
was right.
Children.
The children. He wanted the children to know what was going on,
Yeah.
because he didn't want to have them to go through agony and torture. See, so Mum and Dad have been really hurt and upset and attacked and attacked and attacked. And Satan's been tricking them. And so their feeling comes into you guys.
Yeah.
But you guys can stop it. You can say, look, that's enough now. Get your act together. Go in and have a talk. And forgiveness is the most powerful thing
Yeah.
ever. Love and forgiveness. The greatest of all is love. But if you can forgive and forget, it says to forgive your brother 7 times 77 or something. Daily. So that's what Yahusha's saying to us. You don't know that because it's in the scripture you haven't read. He says you've got to do it daily that much and more. See? So you're keeping yourself safe by forgiving.
Yeah.
You can understand this, can't you? When you look at Mum and Dad, do they want to understand this? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Do they look like they're doing it? Yes or no? All the time?
Not at all.
That's right. So you can see that. Now, when that happens, they need your help. That's all it is. You're helping. So, Dad, Mum, just speak up. Don't be afraid. Now, who doesn't like this understanding? Anyone not like it?
Satan.
Satan, aka
Good.
Santa.
Good. That's right. So, Mum and Dad need your help too, so they get stronger. You're doing scripture studies in the morning or something, aren't you, Mark told me?
Yeah, I was getting Robert and Hunter to read the scripture before school.
Yeah. Very good.
That's pretty
Very
cool.
wise. Wonderful.
But on Jonah, I don't know.
You know what you'll
Judges.
get
Yeah.
from doing that? What it's called?
Supernatural power.
A blessing. He gives you blessings. You start to see things you didn't realise or see before. So if you continue with what you're doing, you'll find something wonderful come to you in the future. But you've got to read it all, practice it, and then you start having a relationship. You can hear his voice talking to you. The still, soft voice, the quiet, soft voice, they say. Not the angry one that goes, ah! It makes you rage. That's Satan, you know, straight away.
You don't scare me.
That's good. Unless Daddy plays a game and scares you, you know, the loud voice. But up to you guys. Now, who's winning so far? Now that you know this, give yourself out of 10 a score. Who's been winning? You or Satan? Give yourself a score out of 10.
From starting now or before?
Before. How you've been living without this knowledge. Now you've got the knowledge, now you can see. So what percentage would you give Luca if you were watching? A 4, okay? You?
4.5.
4.5. Micah? What percentage?
3.
3. Joe?
Towards this 4.
Victor? Yeah, what's your percent?
4.
Oh, I think you're a bit
5.
higher than that. But go on.
On
Mark?
2 or 3.
2.
2. Okay, so you all know the battle you've got to win. If you don't do it, you can't say that I never told you, can you? So you can't say you don't know. So if you go the opposite and go your way in life, when it comes to Judgment Day, Yahusha's going to go, Chris, come here. I'll come over and he'll say, did you tell these guys everything? And I'll say, yep. They know it. And then it's between you and Yahusha what's going to happen. What does he say will happen if you're disobedient to his word?
You'll get
Destroyed.
destroyed.
So you can see where you're up to in your own point score. Do you want that to go higher?
Yes.
Or you need to what?
Feed.
Feed
yourself.
Yeah, you need to feed yourselves so you get the fullness and you get the supernatural experiences happening to you. And you saw what happened to Moses, didn't you?
Mm.
So as you read the scripture, you can see things like that, not in such a huge scale, but in your personal life, you'll see all sorts of things open to you, and you'll be watching Yahusha and hearing what he's saying to you, do this or say that. And you'll start to figure out, oh. And when it works, it's just marvelous. It doesn't matter where you are or what situation you're in, Yahusha will work with you.
Mm.
And sometimes it can look really tight and really hard, and you can think it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. And all of a sudden, you'll see that door open for you. Now, if you look at it and you're doing it, it says you're going to get what?
Blessed.
Blessing.
Blessings. So if you don't do it, what are you going to get?
Curses.
Right. That's how the Father of heaven created us. Said, this is my word. This is what I want from you. If you go your way, well then, what comes? What happens to the seed?
It dies.
That's right. So you'll be destroyed.
Mm.
So we've got a chance at life with Yahusha, letting his supernatural powers come through us, or not. Now you guys didn't know this, so it's something you can personally practice yourself. If you're hearing thoughts against this truth, who is that?
Satan.
It's up to you whether you're going to accept it and run it through your body and your mind. It'll just make you mad. It'll be torturous.
Yeah.
That's what Therese and Daddy have been going through. Agony and torture. Why is that, guys?
Because we haven't been communicating.
Yeah, weren't behaving properly. Yeah, weren't believing, weren't trusting, weren't flowing.
Yeah. So is this good for you too,
Oh.
to hear this?
Brilliant.
How does it make you feel?
Like an idiot.
Lifted.
No, not the
Lifted.
bad part.
Lifted.
Get lifted.
You're looking forward, not backwards.
Yeah,
Lifted.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So you feel like you got hold of something, you're going to win. I'm
Yeah.
not. This
Mm.
mongrel's not having me anymore.
Yeah. Mm.
See? So brothers and sisters, you can see even young people can understand the word. And that's what Yahusha says.
Mm.
So should they be stopped from knowing
No.
this?
No.
No way.
Right.
Nope.
But there's a lot against it. If you want to do it, there's going to be things come against you. And you've got to just hang in there and believe no matter what's coming against you, and keep going, and you'll win. And you'll be blessed, and you'll experience not superpowers, but supernatural things coming through your behaviour, your words. You'll say something and you'll see the reaction, or something happens and you'll think, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You're looking at his power coming through you. Now, a lot of people want to be a healer or prophesy or have all these wonderful gifts that are written in the book, but it's not going to happen if they're not in order, is it?
No.
So you start with the small things and you get all those in order, then you can handle the big things. Wonderful things can happen It's up to you to believe it. The best thing you can do is believe. He wants a personal relationship with each and every one of you. It's not me, I'm just telling you what the scripture says. I'm not trying to make you do this or make you do that. I'm just telling you stuff. Is this stuff good or not?
Yes.
Well, it's up to you to grasp it and do it yourself. There's a race on. Yahusha says there's a race. When you enter the race and you get a crown at the end of it, when you enter the race, do it the right way. So it's not anyone against anyone, because when the wheat grows, some grows quicker than others and others catch up, but they all get to one height, don't they?
Yeah.
The wheat all grows up to one height. So everyone that enters the race can make it. Some bear 60 grains of wheat, some bear 90, or some bear, have I got that right or wrong?
Something like that.
Some bear 30.
Yeah.
It's up to you how much you connect, trust, and believe His word in the circumstances in your life to how much you'll be blessed. If you're clever, you'll get blessed a lot. If you keep Satan away, you'll get blessed a lot.
Yeah.
You stand on the word in every situation you're in, you'll just see the most amazing things happen. But who's it up to?
Us.
I'm not angry at you. I'm not trying to make you do anything or say anything. Am I? I tell you stuff, then it's up to you guys what you're going to do with it. But you haven't been told because of the attack on them. They didn't even know this, did you?
No, not like this. Not at all.
See? So there's so much there to know. And He is wonderful. You've been seeing the birds I've been putting up on my Facebook? Have you?
They haven't had their devices.
Oh, that's right, but they do get them sometimes, don't they?
Oh, school kids get them during the day.
Oh, during the day they can have a look. It's the most amazing creation, just the birds alone. The colours and the feathers, and once you just look, you just think, what would it be like to know Him? What would it be like if He's in me? He's in you in seed form, but He wants you to make Him grow up, fill Him with the Word, so He can grow up into you, grow up into the head of the body. Oh, and that experience is just amazing. You guys didn't know about this because they've been attacked. It's not their fault. They're just overwhelmed with everything that's happened in their life. That's why Yahusha grabbed them, shook them, shook all the roots off them, all the dirt.
All the crap from out of the pockets.
Chucked us in the hot wash,
Yes.
and then the dryer, and then back in the hot wash again.
Back into the Gaia again.
So they've been going through that because there's a lot of worldliness in them Yahusha wants to get out. But I don't think you guys should suffer anger and loudness and all that anymore. And if you don't speak up, Therese isn't going to know it's a demon. Daddy isn't going to know he's angry. If it happens, they might turn around and become really good now and turn over a new leaf so that you don't have to speak to them. You can put your hands on Dad's back and say, good on you, Dad, you're doing well. Good on you, Therese. Yeah? But you must, if you don't speak out, what'll happen to you? When you know the situation's happening and you don't speak out, what will you get?
Flogged.
Yeah. Or,
Goaded.
so that you'll be suffering pain because of not your fault, because of them. But if you're too afraid to say, this has got to stop, everyone say that. 1, 2, 3.
This
has
has
got
gotta
to
stop.
That's
Please.
That's it. Please is wonderful. That's wonderful. Now, this is how families can function, brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
This is what should be told to the children. It's a better education than what the world gives.
Oh yeah.
So, up to you guys now, how far you're going to go. The deeper you go in reading and applying and having experiences, the more supernatural experiences are going to happen to you, in your life, around you, and you're going to be seeing Yahusha work through you, through all different areas. But it's up to,
Us.
Me.
Us.
what do you reckon? Going to give it a go?
Fantastic.
Great, you're going to give it a go, son. Good boy. Ha ha. Hunter's going to crack a jack. Okay, brothers and sisters, anyone want to say anything before we go?
Bye.
Good. You want to say something?
No, I think it's brilliant.
All right.
The word is so important. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, brothers and sisters. It's been great being with you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.